Hey guys, this is Yorktown here, and today I'm going to be commentating my fourth battle in General Secure's PBR Summit Tournament. And my opponent's going to be JoeTEStrikesBack, and I'm going to call him Joe. So straight away I send out Typhlosion, and he goes for the Shadow Ball with his Alakazam. Obviously wasn't packing Psychic, which is why my Typhlosion was able to take that rather well. I could have gone for an Eruption there, but, if he'd used a stronger attack, it would have been weaker than Flamethrower. So Flamethrower does a fair bit. He goes for the Focus Blast, but missed. He was hoping for a free KO there, and it ended up costing him as he loses Alakazam without doing any more damage to my Typhlosion. So Alakazam goes down, so I'm looking to be in a pretty good shape already for this battle. So now he sends out Entei. It's a bit jumpy there for some reason, so I'm scared. He's gonna Extreme Speed me or something, since Entei got a huge boost to its physical move pool. Is now great Pokemon. I didn't used to be. So I switch out to Milotic. He actually goes for the Stone Edge. He obviously didn't think Extreme Speed would be enough, and that does a lot of damage to Milotic, a lot more than I thought it would. And as you can see, he's got Life Orb, so his attacks are just that more stronger. But I heal off some of it with leftovers, and he decides to switch out, obviously saying that another Stone Edge is not going to cut it, unless he gets a crit. So he switches out to Suicune, which just pretty much counters my Milotic. I can't do anything to Suicune. I was expecting another attack, so I rested. Yeah, so now I'm on full health, and the Marvel Scale is activated, so his physical defense, her physical defense is a bit higher now. So I switch out to Machamp, and here I was thinking, yeah, he's gonna be Calm Minding. I've got to hit her on the physical side, so I go for a Dynamic Punch, hoping to do a fair bit of damage, but Suicune is actually incredibly tanky with both defenses and takes it like a beast. And the only thing really I get is the confusion hacks here, which doesn't seem to be helping me this turn because he gets a Surf off. And a Calm-Minded Surf can easily take out a Machamp. Not even with it. He didn't really need that critical hit. I don't feel bad that he got that. In fact, I would rather he get his crits there when he doesn't need them. So now I send out Salamence. Now I know Salamence is in Uber. Salamence was not Uber when this tournament started though, and I can't change which Pokemon I have. So I go for the Dragon Claw. Yeah, it does a fair bit of damage to Suicune. And he's got the Confusion. Again, not helping me there. He goes for Toxic, so now I've got a bit of a time limit on this Salamence. I'm not going to be able to keep it out for very long. And I don't know if I can switch any. I don't think I have any free switch-ins. What do I know that can take a Surf? I reckon Breloom actually would have been a good switch-in, because now that I realize it, he wasn't packing Ice Beam. At least I don't think he was. I mean, if he goes for Surf against Salamence, obviously he's not packing Ice Beam. No, he went for Toxic against Salamence. What am I talking about? So anyway, I've got the Dragon Dance boost now, and I go for Dragon Claw, doing a lot more damage now. And I think he's still confused. No, he snaps out of confusion here, and he rests off. So basically walling my entire team at this point. The last two turns are completely useless except for the Dragon Dance. That's actually why I did it, in case he rested. And now I get a much needed crit against Suicune. I actually feel kind of bad because otherwise I probably wouldn't have been able to take it down. And I just finish off Suicune. Suicune's still sleeping. It's not a sleep talker like my Milotic is. It's just tanky. That's what it is. Finally, this thing goes down, and I'm feeling like I'm in better shape. I have lost Machamp. I lost it in one hit, but he's now lost two Pokemon, so I'm feeling good. Entei again coming out. That Extreme Speed is going to take out Salamence, but I run like a little girl, and yeah, decide to save Salamence for a rainy day in case I can get like a free Dragon Claw off or something once this Entei is out of the way. Extreme Speed not doing too much to Milotic, especially with Marvel Scale up, and Leftovers is going to heal off a bit more. And that Life Orb damage is Starting to put a dent in that Entei. A very small dent, but it's a significant one, by the way. He sends out Raikou, which is like a perfect counter to Milotic, because it can pretty much one-shot it with a Thunderbolt. Although Milotic does have an incredibly high special defense. I go for Sleep Talk, get a Surf off. A very useful Surf which does a lot of damage. And he goes for the Thunderbolt, as I would expect. And even with the extreme speed damage, doesn't quite KO Milotic. Milotic has survived Thunderbolts from Raikou before, but only when she's on full health. So I go for another Sleep Talk. This time I get Ice Beam. It does a fair bit. I wasn't expecting that much from an Ice Beam, especially since I don't have Stab. Surf probably would have KO'd it there. Must have got some good random number, but he just finishes me off with Thunderbolt. So goodbye Milotic. He's evened it up to 2-2 now. So yes, this battle was very back and forth. It was actually quite close at the end. So now I send out Breloom. Raikou can't really do much to Breloom because it resists electric. So this is pretty much my only chance to send in Toad, who likes to abuse Spore. So I Spore my Raikou. Poison Toxicorp activates, poisons me. That's going to be good for me because I'll heal from poison and be immune from other status effects. I go for the Substitute just to set up because I'm expecting him to switch out here. And I don't know what he's going to switch to. He switches to Entei. And I think I go for the Leech Seed here, which works out in my favor because I've got a sub up, he's seeded, he's not going to be in a good position. All that extra Life Orb damage is going to get wasted on a Substitute. He can easily break my sub, but I can just pop another one up, which I think is exactly what happens here. He goes for Extreme Speed, bam, hits that Substitute, Substitute fades, and Breloom uses Substitute. So now we're back where we started, really. Leech Seed heals me, hurts him, and then I get the extra healing from Toxicorp. And I'm back where I started. I still got a sub up. This time I know he's going to switch out because he can't break this. So I go for the Focus Punch. And he switches in the one Pokemon on his team that could easily wall this Focus Punch. 4 times resistance to fighting is a Crobat. Which does absolutely nothing. And Focus Punch is a powerful move by any means. And just to tank it like that, I've never seen a Crobat to take such little damage from any attack that wasn't Earthquake. So I send out Typhlosion again. And he goes for the Taunt. Yeah, that's why exactly I predicted a Taunt. Because Breloom attracts taunts like you wouldn't believe. And Taunt's not really going to hurt Typhlosion since all his moves are attacking moves. He goes for Hypnosis here, a miss. So that's the second attack that has missed Typhlosion here. After the battle, Joe was saying that Typhlosion, he was the source of a lot of hacks in this game. And I'm sorry for that. I didn't mean to. Typhlosion wasn't playing fair, really. If he'd gone for 2 cross poisons here, yeah, he would have taken out Typhlosion easily. Instead, he ends up losing his Crobat. So now he's lost Crobat. I think he's only got 3 Pokemon left. I think I'm on 4, maybe? I lose track. But I think it's fairly even, but I think I'm a bit ahead at this point in the battle. So I switch out Typhlosion, again running away from that Entei, and I switch in Salamence to get Intimidate off on him. And just get a free switch, really. That's why I kept Salamence. Well, I kept Salamence hoping for a free Dragon Claw, but because Salamence is really the only thing on my team that is faster than the rest of his team, except for that Entei with extreme speed. So now I send out Togekiss. It's one of the favorites of this team, but never really gets to do anything for some reason. In the last battle, my Togekiss got annihilated by another Togekiss. So he wisely switches in Raikou here, who is asleep and therefore immune to Thunder Wave. But I just go for the Aura Sphere on the second turn because he's still asleep, and finish off Raikou. So now he's left with his Entei and another Pokemon which is yet to be seen yet. So at this point, he switches in Torterra. Can't be Thunder Waved, but I mean Air Slash would have been effective. In hindsight, I probably should have used Air Slash then instead of switching out to Breloom. And that decision probably made this battle a lot longer than it had to be because Breloom just stalls. And at this point, he really can't do much except put Torterra to sleep. So now we got two walls, really, facing off. Breloom is faster, so I go for the Spore. And that's one turn of sleeping. Breloom's still healing off all the damage that he's taken. I go for a Substitute here. I'm not really sure why. I don't really know. I can't Leech Seed a Torterra because it is Grass type. And I mean, I can't Focus Punch it because it's a Grass type and it resists and it's got stockpiles coming up. And yeah, Focus Punch is not going to do much. So I Spore him again because he woke up. And I think at this point I decide to switch out because I know Breloom can't do anything. And really all he's good for is putting Torterra to sleep at the moment. So I switch out to Typhlosion. Fire against Grass should work out well in my favor, except he wakes up and he's going for more stockpiles. So he's getting a pretty good wall up at the moment. Kind of frustrating for me. But here, Flamethrower does a lot more damage than I was thinking it would, and Joe was surprised as well. He sent me a message, he thought it was Spexed at the end, but it's not. It's got a Power Herb. So now he gives me a taste of my own medicine and Leech Seeds me. I think he might have been hoping that that would KO it there, but it didn't. Just hung on with like 2 hit points. So I switch out Typhlosion. I'm going to go back to Breloom here. There's no point giving him any more HP than he needs. And I can put him back to sleep. So here he heals. So Typhlosion wouldn't have been able to do anything anyway. I go for the Spore again, and I'm going to try that same tactic again. This time I'm not going to put a Substitute up. So I switch out to Typhlosion. Now I'm just going to try and take him out with Flamethrowers, because that's really my only option at this point. So again, Flamethrower doing a decent amount of damage. He's still asleep. That would be, I think, 2 turns of sleeping. Go for another Flamethrower, get a crit. I feel bad about that crit, because if he'd woken up at that point, he could have survived that if it wasn't a crit, by the way. If he'd woken up at that point, he could have taken out Typhlosion easily with like Leech Seed or something. So now he's only got Entei. And Entei easily dispatches of Typhlosion. I don't really have a safe switch in at this point. So Typhlosion goes down. The Entei is still taking Life Orb damage. So really it's a race. Can he get through my the 2 Pokemon I have left without dying to recoil damage? And the answer is about to be revealed. Breloom goes down. That's a lot of Flare Bits recoil. Absolutely annihilating Breloom, but the Life Orb finishes off Entei. So, I'm sorry, Joe, for all the hacks I got in that battle. Typhlosion had 2 attacks, I think, at least miss against him, and he got a crit on that Flamethrower. But that's the way this game goes, I guess. A lot of it is luck. And he definitely had the better team. But looks like I won that one.